This window of mine is titled Living Room, and today I'm gonna be breaking down the whole process of making it, so that, hopefully, you'll learn something or get inspired for your own projects at home. Let's start. First, I started blocking out this wall unit out of basic shapes, like cuboids and spheres. After I got the basic idea of the size, scale and dimensions, I've assigned each element with different random textures in effort to make it more clear and organized. It's time for texturing. This time I've decided to texture and complete each element of the scene one at a time, so that I'll be able to see the general vibe of the project much clearer and faster. I've used very basic procedural wood material created with color ramp and a noise texture node. It may be a bit non-realistic and ugly, but hey, all those wood-like materials they have used to produce the real white units are perfect as well, so... This render is just a quick test of the hunter material that I was having a bit of trouble with. I finally made a decision and chose a bit darker shade of brown wood instead of a metal or that brighter one. Remember to always look at your work in progress models and texture with some test light added. It can, of course, make it look more pretty and more realistic, but also reveal some flaws that were unnoticeable at the first sight. In my case, as you can see, it went quite well. After the wall unit was done, I've created this TV stand with the same procedural wood material and standard glass materials as before. It was meant to look like a part of the same collection, or at least fit it on nicely. Okay, so now that we've got a stand, we need something to actually stand on it. So here it is, an old Moderetti model TV. This is, again, the same wooden material, along with some standard low roughness material for the screen and high roughness for all of the buttons. They are all separate objects, but the supposed holes are just, for the sake of my laziness, just intensively black textures. We were 8 windows in, and only now I've started to actually block out the actual room. Yeah, my workload is weird, for sure. I've also added some lights that were meant to imitate a cylinder, but I'm not sure if I achieved that effect. The cardboard on the floor is a material that I've got from the internet, so of course all of the links are in the description. Time for real, actual cylinder reel. Well, guess what? Of course I've messed it up. At first I was using material with high emission covered by semi-transparent glass, but as you can see, that covering thing was maybe a bit too effective. On the light, I managed to fix it, or at least in a way that satisfied my stupid and lazy brain. I removed the glass that you won't be able to see, and added some extra point lights to support the emission material. Looks fine, I guess. Also, I've thrown in those plans to make it the wall more lively and less empty. It's a free model that I've downloaded from the internet, so, of course, once again, our links are in the description. Time for detail. Honestly, I don't even know where to start with this one. First, I've changed some colors to make the plant stand out a little more. This poster was created by just simply unwrapping a painting on a properly scaled cube, and the clock was just a cylinder with some additional models used to create the clock's hands. The napkin that's lying on the TV was made by applying the most basic cloth material to a plane that was duplicated several times, and the plane is just a bit rotated copy of the one that you see on the wall, but with some change colors. Bottles, along with this ashtray, I made from cylinders with colored glass material, and while speaking of color, these books lying on the shelf are the effect of simple randomization of the color ramp node, and stuff above them is, well, there's a something blend to imitate something. I'm not even sure. I hope that I haven't missed anything, other than there was a slight camera angle change. It was a long one. The one that's changed look isn't that bad. First, I started with the standard color change and added this cute little photo on the side of the TV. Then it was time for something to occupy this huge empty space in the middle of the composition. A table. A glass table, to be exact. It was made from 2 different glass materials, one with more and second with less roughness, assigned to different parts of the model. There was a standard material too. I have made the second bolt a bit more visible by changing its color to brown. Then it was time to fill the space on this empty, lonely table. You probably recognize these donuts and coffee, and that's because I've grabbed from my old Bender Girls inspired project. Next to them sits this sugar bowl that was just a cylinder with a few scalped loops and a signed colored glass material, along with the book about a man that many of my fellow Polish people might recognize. Light. Sun. I've ordered the sunlight coming in from a small window to make this room stand out a bit more, and also to give it that saturated kind of vibe of the old photos. Then I've also thrown there a small chair that was made of a few cubes to extrude into each other and then beveled. This one is a bit weird, and that's because I've decided to temporarily focus on the decorative porcelain stuff and make them in a separate scene. It's nothing too special, but just a few extruded and scarred cylinders with a white, shiny material assigned to them. Here you can see the porcelain in its place, with the rest of the scene. To be completely honest with you guys, I've been getting a bit burned out at this point, and I've decided if I wanted to ever finish this product, it would be better to just leave it as it is. So I started rendering with optics and noising turned on, and, well, go this exact render that you're looking at right now. I hope that you've enjoyed this video and maybe learned something or got inspired by it in some way. Go check out my Instagram that is in the description. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on my next render breakdown.